All right, for this project, I asked students to create a sound amplifying device for an iPod or an iPad. One of the reasons I enjoyed creating this project is because it not only incorporates the use of technology, but it also incorporates the use of the engineering design process. So it required students to ask questions, imagine, plan, create, and improve the designs that they were working on. This project allows for easy differentiation. Because students will be able to use the device to look up definitions, they can record answers. They'll be using devices like iPads and computers, using resources like Info Ohio. It also allows them to present to their peers, to use a device to collect images. Students can create their own conclusions about how terms and concepts are related to one another. There are a multitude of apps that can be used and applied during a project like this. It also allows students to use the upper Bloom's DOK. They're creating, evaluating, and synthesizing their own work. If I had this project to do over again, I would probably allow for more time. We spent a week on this project, and by the time students went through the process of researching their ideas, creating their design, and then building, it really seemed like we were pushing it to allow them to do the presentation part of the project. So part of it we did in the science classroom, and part of it we had to work collaboratively with some other teachers to get the presentations completed. During this project, students used a variety of web resources like Info Ohio. Because we lacked a computer for every student during part of the lab, they were able to come back and guide their own learning by using resources like Info Ohio. This is a little bit of just a substitution when you look at the model. However, there is some redefinition that's going on here as well, because students are allowed to certainly kind of guide their own learning as they're going through this process. So you can see from the images here, these are just students who are trying to find answers to questions to help them build their devices. Students also use the information they gathered from the computer to create their designs. So many of them were able to go and look at online designs and evaluate those online designs to create their own designs. They also worked with a media specialist to learn how to evaluate different web resources. They did this in a whole class instructional setting before they began their actual projects. Most students chose to use Info Ohio as their resource as they were researching. Students also then created a final project and collected data. We didn't use the computers to collect data because we looked at evaluating computer resources. And sometimes if we can collect data just with a pencil and paper more efficiently than we can do it on the computer, then we use pencil and paper. So many of their journals and their, just as they collected random data, they wrote it down simply on notebook paper. They did use the iPads, however, and a decibel meter on the iPads to collect data. Then they took that data and put it in their regular science journals. So you can see from the images of the science journals on the screen. This project took roughly a week to complete from start to finish. Now you can tell me what skills you needed to build the speaker.
You need cooperation with others, and you need kind of the materials, definitely. You need to have the knowledge of how sound works. We learned that in science class. Just kind of work with others, be able to build stuff, have sort of a thinking mind.
Okay, what types of materials did you end up using?
We use plastic cups, tape, and hot glue.
Okay. How did you end up organizing your findings?
We put the iPod in our little slot in our speaker, and then we held it about 12 inches above the iPad to test it.
What type of device did you use to test it on the iPad?
A decibel meter.
Okay, how would you say your project actually, when you got done, what would your conclusion be? Was it successful, not successful?
Ours was like, it wasn't one of the top ones, like one of the best ones. It was kind of in the middle. It was the average one, but I think we could have done better.
Okay, in what ways do you think you could have done better?
The structure, we could have built it because we thought it was going to work because we found an idea online and kind of built off of that, but it didn't work as well as we thought it was going to.
Okay. So. Do you enjoy doing projects like that?
Yeah.
Why do you enjoy doing projects like that?
Well, I enjoy doing projects like that because it makes school more fun, and You just get to learn how to build stuff. Stuff like that you can use when you're older. You can become an engineer and stuff.
Okay, what?
In this project, students were able to take their knowledge of technology, gain information, and really redefine the way that they think about solving problems. They were able to create a completely new device that previously would have been inconceivable to them. So they used the technology to gain insight in engineering and the design process and insights on sound so they could create a new device.